The Port of New York and New Jersey is the largest container port on the East Coast, the gateway for nearly 9 million containers a year. Every day, thousands of trucks roll down Port Street, linking the port to Interstate 78, I-95, and the Newark Airport. It's the artery that keeps the region's freight moving, and now it's getting a $220 million upgrade. This is the Port Street Corridor Project, a 5-year reconstruction that will reshape how goods move through New Jersey. We went behind the scenes with the Port of New York and New Jersey to see firsthand how this massive upgrade is unfolding.
My name is Charlie Bontempo. I'm a Senior Program Manager with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. We're here at Port Newark today to talk about the Port Street Corridor Improvements Project.
My name is Gary White. I'm a Project Manager with the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey, working on the Port Street Corridor Improvement Project. We're here to talk about modernizing our roadway and improving our access into the port. This is a roadway improvement project centered at the north end of our port to basically handle the increased capacity of the port. And we're widening our roads, modernizing the roadways to accommodate the new influx of trucks coming into the port.
Got it. And how long has this project been underway?
Since 2023, since the summer of 2023, and we're looking to end in sunset around 2028.
So this is a capital project. It was authorized, I think, 3 times, twice before I got involved. It's a $220 million total project cost infrastructure improvements project. So as Gary was saying, the main entrance in and out of the port here on Corbin Street was through a 60-year-old steel ramp that was in disrepair and being inspected every 6 months and down to 1 lane. So the first solution to this project is getting that ramp down and replaced. But before we did that, to make up for losing that main entry into the port, we built a roadway detour on Kellogg Street, basically relocating Kellogg Street and making a new entrance that's going to stay in place. So at the end of the project, we'll have almost doubled our capacity, the roadway capacity in and out of the port.
Okay, got it. You just now mentioned it's a $220 million project. How has the funding helped advance the Port Street Corridor project?
This project is also supported by a federal grant, $44 million federal grant for infrastructure projects. So in coordination with updating the community, we're also updating the government on the status of the project and the process that we make to get that funding in place.
Got it. Gary, can you talk about some of the changes that the truckers will actually see out there once this project is completed?
So once the project is completed, we're going to see the signage around the Port Street corridor improved, so for driver visibility, so they can navigate the port a little bit easier. They're going to have increased. We're going to increase the size of the lanes coming into and out of the port to better serve the amount of folks coming in and out. We are also going to see. Better turn radii, so that folks, when they're turning in, we're not going to see as many truck overturns, which is really big for safety for the project and just for the Port Street corridor in general.
And how has the project impacted current operations, like business as usual?
So, as Charlie mentioned, everything that we've done, we've had, in mind to take into account port operations and things of that nature and business operations. So, the detour that's been in place has allowed us to do construction in a way that's less disruptive to the marine terminal operators, or as least amount of disruption as possible, while also alleviating traffic, right, and the traffic concerns.
What are some of the changes that the truckers will see once the project is completed?
As Gary said, there'll be increased signage, right, which is kind of in flux right now as roadways are and sections. The project is initially was designed in 7 stages over 7 years. It's now down to 7 stages with sub-stages over a 5-year period. So the drivers are going to see, as Gary mentioned, increased roadway signage. There will be alternate routes in place. We have a Kellogg Street detour. It was the first phase of this project that was opened up before the ramp came down to give drivers a good route in and out of the port here. So that roadway will remain in place after the ramp is done at the end of this year. So there'll be more options for the drivers to navigate the port, wider lanes, better traffic signals, better messaging, better utilities is a big part of this project to serve all of our port stakeholders. Working very closely with PSE&G and Verizon. Every time you widen a roadway, you have to move a utility. So there's a lot of moving parts there. So they'll see just a better flow and more options to get in and out of the port and get to the marine terminals.
Okay. How will this impact congestion and safety during peak hours?
We did a lot of traffic studies leading up to this, and it was determined when the peak and off-peak times would be, and it mostly sits right in the middle of the day, kind of in between trucks coming in and trucks going out is when the heaviest congestion is. So that was taken into account when we designed the Kellogg Street detour to account for that. And then also the traffic signal timing is designed to account for that. Right now there's temporary signals in place until the roadways are made permanent. So that's always it's very easy. We have a command center, an operations control center that monitors all of that and can make real time changes to those traffic signals based on the traffic conditions in and out of the port that day.
How is it?
And I was going to say, as Charlie mentioned, with the widening of Port Street, the widening of Kellogg, relocation of Kellogg, improved traffic signaling, our traffic design team estimated about a 37% reduction in traffic overall in the north end of the port. So that's kind of what we're aiming for with this project. In specifics, what truckers will see.
Got it. How have the truckers responded to the detours and kind of being uprooted from their normal kind of path?
Initially it's a tough message to deliver, right? We're talking to truckers, and we feel your pain. But as has been proven, now that the detour is in place, it was engineered specifically to account for that increased volume. And engineered at a higher elevation and engineered at proper turning radiuses to account for driver activity, just for different types of driver activity, for different types of vehicles. So they'll really be, as we mentioned earlier, just a smoother access in and out of the port once the project is completed.
How would you say this project ties into like the bigger overall vision of the port?
Well, as we're improving this corridor, it also creates an avenue for us to make other technological improvements around the port. So one thing that comes to mind is that we have a DC fast chargers area that is nestled within this project, nestled within the area of this project. Us widening the roadways, us providing upgrades to the infrastructure allows for that new use to kind of come into play. And so really and truly, we're doing this now for our current needs, but also our future needs as well. And yeah, I don't know.
Got it. We were talking earlier about, you said you serve many stakeholders, 80 stakeholders, and one of those are truckers, right? Trucking community. What are you hearing? What kind of feedback are you hearing from the truck community in terms of what their needs are and what they want the most?
Well, I think initially traffic was at the top of their mind. And I think we're largely at the point where we had to rip the Band-Aid off of, repairing the ramp and getting this done. Also just many improvements that could be done along the way. I think a lot of times people want to feel included in as a part of the process. And we've done a really good job of incorporating their feedback into areas of the project where we can.
Okay. Got it. Can you paint a picture for me of what the area will look like, what the area looks like now, and what it will look like when it's done?
Sure. Right now, we have steel hanging in the sky because we just started steel erection. So they will see a brand new, shiny, wider, engineered Corbin Street ramp coming off of the Port Street Bridge, which will be the main entry into the port here. They'll see wider roadways all the way down port. The project goes all the way down to Doremus Avenue. So all of that Port Street corridor, right, the name of the project, all of that roadway will be raised at a higher elevation. We have a lot of flooding in the area. There's a lot of contaminated soil here. It's a very old location. So all of that contaminated soil is being taken out. So there'll be better drainage conditions. There'll be, as we said, just a better flow. Even just the Kellogg Street detour that we did, right? It's a curve, right? It's not a traffic signal and a stop until you get to Marlin Street. And then even once you get to Marlin Street, there's more clearly indicated traffic patterns, right? There's dedicated right turn lanes coming into the port. There's a dedicated right turn lane getting out of the port. It gives you more options to navigate. And the messaging is really important. Between the direct messaging signage that we have here, we have updates that go out every day, every minute sometimes as conditions change that the truckers have insight into. We have a Port Street Corridor Improvements webpage that you can access from the Port Authority website that gives you live updates as well. We were just up on the roof here. We have an Earth Cam, which is a great tool. It's a constantly recording, so you can see live imagery if you log in on that and track activity. So there's a lot of different ways we're accounting for driver activity.
If there's one thing you could say that truckers can do to help with this transition, what do you guys think that would be?
Be safe, right, is the number one concern. We have meetings, every week, and our traffic engineering guys come out and, we talk about driver activity and trucker activity and try to give them the insight as to what's coming up and what to expect and how to navigate those changes. So I just think that communication, right, that open dialogue, and it's many different ways, right? We have many different ways of different stakeholders and different ways of communicating with the stakeholders. So I just think that open line of communication and listening to them, we're concerned that you're going to close Corbin Street to build the ramp. How is that going to affect us getting out of the port? It's going to be down to one lane. And we take that feedback. And if we can adjust, something as simple as adjusting a traffic signal that someone identifies to us, we can do it in real time. And I think that open level of communication and that trust, because we were out ahead of the game, right? We were talking about this before we put a shovel in the ground. So we really got all of that feedback kind of baked in to the detour and to the stages and how that's going to affect not only trucker activity, but, the marine terminals as well.
Got it. And you guys are early, right? As of right now, you're looking like you'll be finishing up early than projected?
Certain phases of the project will be finished early, right? There's 7 stages and many sub-stages. So because of coordination efforts, I want to say, with New Jersey Turnpike, coordination efforts with Conrail, the rail yard that we're working over, coordination efforts with the utility companies, the stages are fluid. So if we can't work in one area, the contractor picks up and works in another area. So where we may be lagging in one specific location, we're accelerating in another location.
Gary, what are some challenges that you guys have faced during this process?
So we have approximately 77 stakeholders, and getting across, what we need to get done and things that they're worried about has been a challenge, right? In that communication, I think having that open and honest forum on a periodic basis has helped us really, from a project standpoint, understand how our users and folks around us are concerned about things that go on, and how we mitigate that. But really and truly just navigating others' expectations and negotiating, what we are able to change with what we can't, right? And communicating that need.
Yeah. And how can people keep up to date with what is going on with the project?
We have a webpage that we built. That again was kind of a result of the port master plan. We had a web page for that to keep the port community updated. It's accessible through the Port Authority website. And you can go to the Port Street Corridor Improvements webpage, which is GIS platform. We use a lot of GIS now, Geographical Information Systems, in project management, right? Because it gives you a real visual, even now in architecture, right? We're designing not in space, we're designing, excuse me, in place, right? In the actual place where the work is. And that's what GIS kind of gives us the ability to do. So, if you go to the Port Authority, the Port of New York and New Jersey website, the Port Street Corridor Improvements webpage, there's a link to that. It gives you the scope of work. It gives you an outline of all of the phases. It gives you very good interactive maps so that you can kind of see before and after. It gives you all of the maintenance of traffic drawings. It gives you all of the detours. It gives you all of the closures. It tells you where things are going to be going on and when and what your best approach is to get in and out of here as quickly as possible.
Okay, sounds good. Well, let's go upstairs and take a look, man. I want to see this thing for myself. So early. Let's go check it out.
Thank you.
All right, sounds good. Actually, Port Street is what you call that?
So this is Corbin Street.
Corbin?
Corbin Street, and
Okay.
this is the Corbin Street ramp that we were talking about earlier. This ramp was the sole ramp entering the port from the north end, and Port Street is just at the top of this ramp. So it runs
There's
all
the
the way
bridge
down
that comes off the turnpike.
here from Brewster to Doremus.
All right, so if you could give one message to the trucking community out there, what would that be? I'll start with you, Charlie.
Just be patient with us as you have been, because better things are coming. We're listening, we're paying attention. We have a great team of professionals that's designed this and building this and coordinating it. So at the end of the 5-year period, there will be a safer, smoother entrance to the port here, as well as a reconstructed Port Street Bridge and Port Street going all the way down to Doremus. So at the end of the project in 2028, but there will be much less congestion, less accidents, less incidents, and just a smoother experience coming in and out of the port. Absolutely, that is the goal here. Yeah.